In today's discussion, we will be talking about how to use prepared statement. Okay. In the last lecture, I was talking about how to insert data and update the data to the database, how to a particular delete a record in the database. But in today's lecture, I will be talking about how the prepared statement works. Okay. In the first part, I would be creating a database in MySQL in exam, and in the second part, I would be starting to write down JDBC program. Now let's see in action, guys, how it works. Let's launch the Eclipse. Okay. Now I've opened the Eclipse, and first go to the exam MySQL database, and I've already opened in the Chrome browser and write down localhost PHP my admin. Now the localhost opens up, and go to the student database because I've already created with the name student. Go to a student, and I'm going to create a database manually, and there will be a four field with the name user ID, name, and let's say email ID and city name. Okay, and let's go to the student and click on new and give the table name here. Let's say user2. No, I'm not going to give this user2 because the user2 is already created. Let's better just remove this student database and go to the user database. Okay, guys, and I've already created this user to a user, and go to the new. Okay, and here just give user 1, and there will be a four field like username, user ID, name, and email ID and city. Okay, and user ID will be integer, name varchar because it is string, varchar email ID also, and city name is also varchar because these all are the strings, and that's because we are giving and we are mentioning this varchar. And just give the length user ID, let's say 20, name 20, and email ID is biggest, it comes with the big integer number, so let's write down 60, and city is 20. Let's create this database. Now database got created with the table name user1. Let's see, guys, and we have already created this database, and the table name is user1, and with the field user ID with the column name user ID, name, email ID and city. And then after that start writing down the JDBC program. Let's go to the Eclipse and start a new project. Right click, new project, go to Java project because I am creating ordinary Java project, and let's give here JDBC underscore prepared statement. Guys, you can give anything, and for the understanding purpose I am writing here the meaningful name JDBC prepared statement program. Okay, and click on finish. Now with the name JDBC prepared statement program, the folder got created, and you see this src. And we have already discussed in the previous lecture, guys, how to link connector jar file for the MySQL, because the connector jar will be different for different database. Suppose right now I am using MySQL, the database, the driver would be different. If you are going to use Oracle, then the connector jar file will be different. Okay, and for the MySQL, the connector jar will be for the MySQL, and I'm going to link that connector jar file. Right click on the JDBC prepared statement, go to build path, and if you don't know how to link connector jar file, then I'm going to tell you how to link connector jar file in our project. let's right click on JDBC on our project, go to build path, configure build path, and you see inside libraries, go to add external jars. We have created inside E directory software jar MySQL connector Java, and click on and select the first option, open, apply and close. Now see, earlier this folder reference libraries was not created, but now the moment we link connector jar file, now this option got added. And go to and expand this folder, you see this MySQL connector Java, guys. And now let's get started, and now let's start with the JDBC program. Go to src. Till now we didn't create any class name. Go to src, right click on src, go to new, and you see this class, click on class, and let's say add user, click on finish. Now the class got created. What I will do, guys, we will start first main method, because without main method our program will not run. And let's start with the first steps, that is class dot phone name, and let's give here package name com dot mysql dot jdbc dot driver, and terminate with the semicolon. Okay, and guys, when you write this class dot phone name and inside bracket and inside the double quotes com dot mysql dot jdbc dot driver, then it will give you compile time exception, and better surround with try and catch block. Place a cursor over here and you see this option surround with try and catch block. Click out here and remove this comment, unwanted comment. Control D, it will remove, and delete this will also, and write here E. And in the second steps, start writing down the driver manager dot get connection, driver manager dot get connection. You see this first option, click in the first steps, in the first option, and you see this option, and let's give here, and to be established connection I'm going to write here JDBC colon mysql colon double slash localhost, and this is the protocol, guys, to be established connection from database. Because if you're not going to follow the same protocol, then the connection will not be created. Okay, the connection will not be established, so you will have to follow this protocol what I'm writing here, this JDBC colon mysql colon double slash localhost colon, I'm going to write here the database name, and the database name is user. Go and write down user, fine, slash comma double quotes, write down root, because the username by default has got example is root, colon double quotes, terminate with the semicolon. Again it is giving compile time exception. What I will do, I will remove this class not found, because when I write this exception only, then it can handle any kind of exception. Either it can be file not exception, you can say that null point exception, number format exception, then it can handle all kind of exceptions, right? With the third steps, I will write down prepare. Firstly, if and what is the return type of this driver manager.get connection? Place a cursor over here and press Ctrl 1. You see this option assign a statement to a new local variable. Click out here and you see this auto populated message. Remove and write down con. Fine. Again write down con dot prepared prepared statement, prepared statement, and inside this bracket I will be writing down SQL query, give double quotes and write down. So, guys, and in this particular lecture I'm going to insert a record to the database through this JDBC program. Then write down the SQL query to be inserted the data into database. insert into what is our table name. Table name we have given name here user1. Write down user1. Insert into user1 values. And guys, one important catch. Earlier I used to give here the user ID and name, email ID and city name. But what I will do here guys, I'm going to write here question mark, comma, again question mark, comma, question mark, again comma and question mark. And I've given here 4 question mark because I've already created in the database and the table name is user, and I've already given the column name is 4. There are 4 column name, and that's why I'm writing here this 4 question mark. And the more the column name will be more, then the question mark will be more. Okay, and terminate with the semicolon. And you see, if you want to get this the return type of this statement, place a cursor over here and type control 1, and you see this option assign a statement to a new local variable. Click, and you automatically you will get this auto populated message. Write down PS. Okay, and what I will do now, I will supply data dynamically. Then just take the reference of this prepared statement ps dot set integer, because this user ID will be integer. Okay, it is not going to be stored any strings value. Then I'm going ahead, I will write down here ps dot set integer. Okay, I write down 1. And what will happen guys, when I write this ps dot set integer 1 and 100, what it will do, just it will set this 100 in the first place of this question mark. Okay, this 100 will be set here in the first question mark. When I write here this ps dot set a string, write down here 2. In the second steps, write down here let's Murad. When I write here this Murad in the second statement guys, that is ps dot set strings, then this string with the name Murad will be copy, it means will be set in the second question mark. And this is how the data can be supplied dynamically in the prepared statement. In the third steps, ps dot set a string and write down here 3. When you will write here, let's say give here email ID murad@gmail.com. then what this statement does, just it will go to the third question mark and this email ID will be copied here in this place. Okay, and when I write here the fourth ps dot set a string, ps dot set a string 4, I write down here city. Let's give it as the city name is Bangalore. Fine. And when I write here this ps dot set strings 4 and Bangalore, then in the place of 4 question mark, this city name will be set here. And in the last statement, write down ps dot execute update, because I'm going to insert a query to the database. Then we need to write execute update and terminate with the semicolon. Let's say, and let's go with the first step guys. When I write here class.4name, and but this is a package name com.mysql.jdbc.driver. Okay, if you're not going to import this package, then the driver class will get imported here in this particular JDBC program. And I show you where it presents this com.mysql.jdbc.driver. Let's go here and go to the MySQL connector jar and go here com.mysql.jdbc, and where it is, and see this driver guys, and where this driver class presents, see com.mysql.jdbc. if you are not importing this driver class, where it is driver class, this driver class, then the program you will not be able to run this program. Okay, and in the second steps, this connection con equals to driver manager dot get connection. Just it will go and establish connection through Java to database. And in the third steps, when I write here prepared statement ps equals to con dot prepared statement, what happens guys? Just it will fire query to be inserted the data to the database. And when I write this ps dot set integer set strings and all, and after that ps dot execute update, what happens? It is going ahead and it will set all the id, this name, this email id, and this city will be set here in the place of question mark. And this all data is getting supplied dynamically. So execute and run as Java application. Now see, go to the database and click on user one. Now see guys, now the data got inserted. Okay, with you in the user id 100 murad at the rate gmail.com and city name Bangalore. Okay, and for understanding purpose, what I will do, I will write here system.out.println, and inside double quotes write down query inserted. And now let's again, I'm going to, what I will do guys, I will just change to 100 to 101 and write down here cursor at the rate gmail.com. Let's say Kolkata, and let's give it as Asansol. Let's run as Java application. Now see guys, now the query inserted. Let's go to the database and click on user one. Now see, with the user id 101 cursor at the rate gmail.com and Asansol, and now this data got inserted guys. And this is how you can insert any data. User id, let's say 102, and the name is Sahnawaz, and let's email id is sahnawaz at the rate gmail.com, and let's leave as it is this city name. And again, I'm going to run this particular program, run as Java application. And when it will run, then now the query inserted, and let's go to the database and click on user one. Now see, again one more data got inserted in our database, and this is how you can supply this value. Which value? This value. And now this all value will be supplied dynamically, and to supply dynamically, and that's where the prepared statement comes into picture. And in the second lectures I would be talking about how to update a record. Let's say we have written here cursor. I want to change this cursor to Shams Nisar Ansari. Again, I want to change this Sahnawaz to some other names. Let's say Farhan. I'm going to change this email id to some other email id, and that's where the update prepared statement comes into picture. Okay, and in the second lecture I would be talking about how to update any particular record. Let's catch up in the next video. Thank you.